Yo, yo, what's up, good people? The boys from Phantom Geek Zone back again with another dope episode for y'all. As per usual, I'm Izzy,
I'm Riyaal.
and today, man, oh man, oh
It's
man,
it's the dope episode.
man, oh
It's
man,
not
oh man.
another dope episode. It's the dope episode.
Yeah, no, we're calling it right out the gate, you
It's
know.
gonna break the top 5. Sorry, spoilers. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
yeah, jumping, right into our MCU recap series. Today we're touching on Avengers Infinity War. Like, man, oh man, oh man. Yo, yeah, it's been quite a ride, to get to this movie. I don't even want to count how many, movies slash episodes it took to get here. But this is now the beginning of the end as far as the Infinity, Infinity saga is concerned. Let's jump right into it, man. Let's jump right into it. I
Yeah.
don't think it's necessary to question like, did it live up? Is it still dope? Like,
I mean, the money tells you if
man,
it lived up
listen,
or not.
listen,
So,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into.
Start from the beginning.
Okay, break it down and start from the beginning. In what regard?
That intro.
Of course. Yeah.
So for me, it's all about how you introduce your big bad.
Yeah.
This is coming off Thor Ragnarok. The Asgardians are in space. They refugees at this point,
Yep.
and at the end of their movie, they come into contact with the ship.
Yeah. And it's like,
And
oh,
then
damn.
now we finally hear the ship, and the way it starts is, what is it? It's you just hear muffled radios like, "Hey, we're friendlies.
Yeah.
Don't whatever. Like if you hear like a war movie and the muffled
distress
radio,
signals and all of that. Yeah.
and then then I think it cuts to you just see Thor on his knees or something, and Thor's the strongest Avenger.
Yeah.
Well, the second strongest Avenger, we know for sure. But you see Thor on his knees, and then Thanos with his generals,
Aish, man. It's just chaos right
Yeah.
out the gate,
and you just see dead bodies everywhere.
And I love that. I feel like easily my favorite intro out of
For a
all
villain, yeah.
the MCU movies.
Villain or
and
ca-
even
even
with
superheroes?
villains in general. I feel like,
Villains, yeah.
without a doubt, because as you said, it's literally the first thing we see. There's no preamble. There's no, build
it
up.
sets the tone. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm a big ass mother effer.
Yeah.
Now you see, and even if you didn't know that from all the dead bodies, that first initial scene they showed it
Yeah.
because he's manhandling everyone.
And I was gonna say, he was out there getting his hands dirty. He's not on some minions, do my bidding and whatever, But also, he had like 10 years worth of a build-up. I mean, this dropped in 2018. Iron Man came out in
2008,
2008.
yeah.
So it's like enough backstory. We got that. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's get right into the shits, So yeah, I absolutely love how they did that right out the gate. Just to let you know, we've been hearing, Thanos this, Thanos that.
Who's Thanos?
But now it's like, okay.
You see Thor on his knees. You see Loki. Tease him like we have a Hulk, and Hulk just gets
Fam,
battered.
he got his ass beat
Battered.
right into
Oblivion.
performance
Yeah.
anxiety. Like the whole movie, homie was like, nah, I ain't coming back, dog. Like, this is it. I'm too scared. Like, even when Thanos nowhere near him, he's like, nope. Who knows what's gonna happen? So
That, and then straight up you see Heimdall just lying there.
fam.
So these are the strongest characters in Asgard.
Yeah.
All lying there, dead, sprawled, injured.
Yeah.
And then Loki just straight up gets choked out.
And that for
That
me
scene was
added so much impact.
Yeah.
Like, no shade or anything, but not necessarily the death of Loki per se, but for me more the brutality of it.
Oh, I was gonna go the other way as well.
For
But
me,
yeah, finish up.
it was the brutality of it, and also doing it right in front of Thor. Like, they had him bound and gagged, just on some, we're forcing you to watch this, you can't look away type thing. And then he just killed his brother in front of him. That is the aspect for me where I was like, oof.
Yeah. For me, I'm
no.
surprised it took it that far, but for me as well, it's like we've seen Loki die before.
Yeah.
But this was the final kill. It's just like
no tricks
yeah,
or anything.
it's
I
like,
mean,
it's
even
done.
Thanos himself said,
It's like, no coming back
no
from
coming
this.
back. Yeah. And he had already tried his tricks, of course. I mean, the little knife he wanted to stab Thanos with and whatever. Thanos was like, nah, son, we ain't gonna be doing that today. You're just gonna be dying. And that's that. So the finality of that.
And I think it hits even harder because Loki was on the turnaround from being a bad guy to the
Yeah.
people loving him.
Yeah.
And it's just like done.
And I mean, even that whole adventure that they had in not Asgard, but like in Ragnarok,
Yeah.
you know, between him
Yeah,
and
you
Thor.
started
It was
like-
still
you
a
started
bit back
liking
and
him,
forth, but you could tell that they somewhat edging closer. Not to mention even with Odin's passing,
Yeah.
you know, having brought them together as well. Hence that element being the big takeaway.
Yeah,
for
so
me.
like just set the tone for the whole movie.
Yeah, but I still remember the feeling I had watching this in the cinema when Thanos was beating the hell out of Thor. I'm like, and remember, when I then watched it again, I realized Hulk came out swinging,
Yeah.
but none of it was making an impact on Thanos. He made contact, yeah, but it's like Thanos shrugging off, you know, damn near. And then next thing he's just laying into
He's
him
laying
like he's
into the
nothing.
Hulk, yeah.
To the point where even the hype guy was like, hey, they're gonna kill my homie. Let me save him by
yeah.
sending him away, you know. So that just tells you that, oof, this is the level of
Yeah.
threat we're dealing with. Never
You're
mind the
too heavy.
stories and
You're two
whatever.
heavy hitters. Done.
I absolutely love that. Yeah. So again, easily the greatest intro we've ever had. But my thing is that, and I feel like this, as far as I remember, I may have said it more times, but the second time I recall saying the pacing of the movie was incredible.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was like damn near perfect because it's like from start to finish, the pacing was amazing. The first time I remember saying this was around Thor Ragnarok, but I do recall around the beginning of the third act or
Yeah,
so.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, got a bit muddy. But with this one, every single frame, every single second
You're
was
gripped,
utilized
you're gripped.
to the maximum, you know. So again, we got the intro of Thanos. That was amazing. Then we follow up with the meeting of the great minds, you know, Tony Stark and
Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What was your take on that?
Yeah, I guess Tony's first time meeting Doctor Strange, and then like just out in the park, like.
But also, given the place in Tony's life, it added to the dynamic
Yeah.
of that interaction.
But also just that little conversation with Pip at the beginning is like, I can give it up. I can give it up whenever. And then
that's
she like
literally
taps the.
what I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking out on some retirement vibes and whatnot, and then next thing, Strange is like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
the fate of the universe is counting on you," type of thing. But
And then he's like doesn't buy it, and then he sees
Banner,
Banner,
near,
yeah.
you know.
But you know what also
breaking
clicked for me?
down.
I didn't realize how many movies Banner wasn't in
Yeah,
until they brought it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, he wasn't here for Civil
we haven't
War.
seen Banner since Ultron.
Yeah.
And then we saw him in Ragnarok, but that was still on another planet.
they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it would have been hitting the nail a little too hard on the head, but kind of like digging into that just ever so slightly, you know, because we saw the emotion of it, but they didn't really get on. Man, where have you been? Like that type of thing. But I suppose there were a lot of other things that needed to be touched on.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's arguably passing of the torch kind of thing, like you know, like the head of the Avengers and the new like smart, powerful
one
one.
of the new leaders
Oh,
and
yeah.
so on.
So,
yeah.
but obviously we don't know that yet.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't know anything.
And not to mention the biggest underlying factor, you know, the two egocentric
Yes.
brainiacs
Yeah.
in the crew.
They're
like,
pretty much similar personalities.
oh, full
yeah.
on, yeah, two sides of the exact same coin. So it was always nice.
And
just
that
watching
kind of
them
like,
spar
you know,
with
you,
each
you
other.
see it throughout the whole movie as well. It's like,
Yeah.
at the beginning, it's like, does this, or the more is like, does this Earthling speak for you? Like, I speak for myself.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like the arrogance of not only does no one speak for me, this guy definitely doesn't
Yeah.
speak for me. Yeah. I saw.
So
hint
yeah,
of that coming through.
I didn't realize how much good chemistry they had on screen, but it was like,
Amazing,
oh wow,
amazing.
okay,
Like,
this is actually.
unlike everyone else in your life, I don't work for you.
Yeah.
You know? Even when he's actually making a good point, it's like that whole thing of
Or what is it? Is it with Spider-Man? Is he your ward? Like,
Yeah.
You know? It's like, do you need some
exactly.
underlings?
So man, yeah, the two of them, amazing. You know, the two Sherlocks
Yeah.
also, like played off of each other amazingly well. Someone else I want to touch on, man, and I've said this a million times. I'll say it until the day I die, and I'll say it a little more after that. Tom Holland
Yeah, of
as
course.
Spider-Man.
Of course.
Every time this
Of
kid shows
course.
up on screen,
Yeah.
before he says a word, there's like an excitement that I feel just seeing him.
Well,
I'm like,
I mean, it was
oh,
in the
man.
scene. It was like,
Dog, like, you know, the spider senses.
no. It's Peter Tingle. There's no spider sense. There's no spider sense.
just seeing that already, I'm like, there
And
he
then
is.
for me, it's his chemistry with Ned. It's like Ned, make it make a distraction. Ned is not even looking at you. He's already making a distraction.
I was gonna say the funny thing is when I watched, I was like, he's not even following his instruction per se. He's just literally getting lost in what's happening there. So it kind of just fit in together. But the chemistry for me is him and Tony that always stands. I'm like, oh man. Look, to watch Tom Holland do his thing and still not be convinced that he's the greatest Spider-Man, to sum it up, because I've touched on it enough times already, it's because of the level of emotion that this kid invokes. Like, what damn near every word he says, I always felt a little something in response. And I feel like that alone, it's a foundational reason. There's a lot more on top of it, but that alone, if people don't feel that, I'm like, nah, there's just something wrong with you, man. But yeah, he came through, did his thing once again, absolutely. Any other standout characters?
For shouting out people, you must give Josh Brolin his flowers. As Thanos, and he's got that voice, the cadence, the swagger. Even if it's with his motion capture, just the body language, because it's a CGI character. Thor, you have to give Thor a shout out. So Chris Hemsworth.
But also, you put Thor into the Russo's hands, nothing can go wrong, though. Like, this is one of the best portrayals I've ever seen. I don't know, I don't have a strict ranking or anything, but this is up there. Possibly my favorite, actually.
Thor portrayal.
Yeah.
Thor portrayal, but also what I really give credit to Russos and the writers and the writing team is how they played each character off with, or paired them off with everyone.
Yes.
The pairing.
Yes.
We talked about Tony, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. Brilliant pairing.
Yeah.
And it kind of sets you up for phase 5 and whatnot. Then you've got Thor meeting with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Just the two funny elements coming together and then them splitting off. Who else do you have there? You've got Nebula.
Yeah.
You got Nebula for a bit.
Yeah. Nebula was basically with the
of course,
in space.
Captain America. How can you forget about Cap?
Yeah, good old Cap with Nat and then.
Yeah, so the basically the Rogue Squad, if you will.
Yes.
The Rogue Squad with Vision.
Fugitives and
you've got them playing off, and then you've got like your intermediaries there as well. Like your War Machine. He's like he's in between here. Like Rhodey is such
he fits in.
He fits like wherever you put him, he fits in and he shines in his little elements.
Yep, great team player there.
So you've got your team players here and there as well. So
that element jumped out to me as well, particularly when it comes to the newer pairings. Because of course, Tony and Spider-Man we've seen a couple of times, always work together. But as you said, like the Doctor Strange thing and Tony Stark, and
even just Tony and Wong, like
it's
one scene, but it's like and then you've got
sticks out.
I would say Rocket and Rocket Groot and
Thor.
Brilliant pairing.
The new pairings that we saw in this is like never in a million years would you ever think to put these guys together, but the way it just worked so well, I absolutely love that. But again, I feel like it's such a specialty of the Russos. Even if you think of like their history, outside of the MCU, Arrested Development is of course where they made their name, which was an ensemble show and hella brilliant. The first 3 seasons, and Community as well.
Paintball episodes.
Even in there, it's an ensemble show, but where they were involved, they did their thing, so they know how to handle different
Multiple
characters,
moving parts,
personalities, and so on. And it was nothing short of brilliant as far as how they did that, even in this particular movie. But look, for the most part, we know there's great cohesion among the Avengers. We like the characters. There weren't really new characters per se in this, And this is Thanos' movie, So
that you bring that up. For me, it was a movie of 2 people really, Thanos and Thor. It was Thor's redemption arc for getting beaten up, because obviously he's getting the Stormbreaker and sacrificing everything, and everything from Ragnarok, and then Thanos. It's like yes, you have a Captain America and the vigilante scene. Yes, you have a Strange and Iron Man scene, but it cuts back to Thanos, and then you get a little bit more of the motivation every time. Every single time you get a bit more motivation, and you start buying in. and buying in and buying in. So like, yeah, I think it's not necessarily. I don't think this is an Avengers movie. It's a Thanos movie.
No,
Yeah.
that's not a hot take at all. Like without a doubt, which is what makes it such a brilliant movie. You know, the fact that they had the bravery to do that. You know, like it still stands out as one of the very few times that movies, comic movies in particular, have gone in that particular direction. You know, so we of course are going to hone in a lot more on him than everything and anyone else. And I mean,
so now you're saying honing in on him. It's just when you look at his character compared to the decisions he made and the other characters had to make.
Yeah,
he had the conviction.
Yeah, from the kick. And I mean, he said himself that as a kid is when he first had that idea that there's just too many people.
The toughest choices are made that have the strongest wills.
The strongest wills. Are required. And he's like, we will find our will just as strong. Our, and then everyone came in, and this is when they were on the planet Titan. But my thing is, and I mean, it's been such a long time since I've said this, but it's also because I don't think we've discussed or had such a great villain to discuss in quite some time. But any movie that has a villain is as great as its villain, and the villain is as great as its motivation. And it certainly doesn't get any better than Thanos. So we have to then pose the question: was he right in his philosophy as far as, look, there are too many people, there are too limited resources, and therefore, as Strange said, because Thanos likes to, Thanos almost likes to sugarcoat it, like, eliminate half and whatever. And Strange is like, you mean a genocide? You know, so is a genocide the answer? To those two opposing forces, basically.
I don't think we can discuss that on YouTube.
We're just talking about comic book movies, eh? We're just talking comic book movies, but yeah.
I mean, the thing with Thanos, he's been proving it, if that makes sense. So, when he's chatting to Gamora, it's like, have you seen your planet after you left, after I took you away? It's thriving. Like, so there's proof to what he's saying. And his own planet died. And he knew how to save it, so he thinks he's in the right. But you know what I mean? Like, any war you have, every side thinks they're correct. So maybe he is right, and maybe you see little bits and pieces of it coming down the line in Endgame.
But is it not too extreme a solution? Because especially if you're talking about harnessing the power of the entire universe, or however you want to put it, as far as having the 6 Infinity Stones, what about exploring some of the lesser aggressive, solutions? Or is it just a matter of those are a little too temporary?
I see the running joke online is like, if he had the Infinity Stones, why didn't he make infinite resources rather than extracting half?
Or somehow ensuring a fair spread, which sometimes seems to be the bigger issue, where
but look, I'm one, and like from my experience, sometimes you're just in that tunnel vision. And maybe he had this idea based on his experiences, and he just went into that tunnel vision and didn't see any way out. And it's kind of made himself undeniable because he conquered everyone and proved, what I'm doing is working.
Damn.
So I don't know. That's just the thought.
Hard to argue with it. Although they also maybe didn't lean in hard enough as far as how often it's worked out. He did say like, there's the one planet that's now flourishing, but if he does it on so many planets, then show your work on some, here, this, that, whatnot type of thing. I think that could have added to his not motivation, but just, proving his point in a sense. And I think to your great point, the fact that it's the world he knows and that he grew up in.
His perspective,
It's really hard for him to even consider anything less than. Especially if you consider places like Earth, where we're left to our own devices, but we still didn't end up doing the right thing. I think, also could have been a great point to just lean in on, as far as this is what they do when you don't step in and, control things. But his thing was always just, nope, this is what has to be done, and that's that. And props to him for being so singular-minded.
And for him, like, it's not an easy thing. Like, yes, it's his idea, but throughout the movie, he's telling you it's not easy.
It's only necessary. Wow. And I think no scene portrayed it better than the Soul Stone with Gamora. And one thing I realized upon the rewatch is the fact that he didn't know the price going in. He had to make that split decision. But the conviction was so deep.
Yeah, for me it was the lack of hesitation. He didn't hesitate, and that's where I say his character arc compared to others, because when other people had to kill their loved ones, they were always looking for a way out. So there's two main ones. There's obviously Gamora asked Peter Quill to kill her,
Yes.
and
yes.
fair on Peter, like
Yeah, of
he
course.
pulled the trigger, but Thanos had the reality stone at that point.
But even the build up to the
to build-
conversation
yeah.
itself, like he was like, no, man.
But even then, like I was also forgot how close they were, Gamora and Star Lord, just to see the pain. Yeah, and then the other one would be Vision and Scarlet
Wanda.
Witch.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
oh.
Because like they literally told us like Vision or the universe, and she chose Vision at every point. Every point she chose
Even
Vision.
Cap was like, hey man, we're not out here to be trading lines
Yeah.
or anything. If we lose as a team, we'll deal with it. And that's actually an amazing parallel.
And
I never
then
thought of it.
Thanos, like, when he heard what he needed to do, good on the CGI team just to make that emotive
Even
face.
the way it played out,
Yeah.
dog, because he then cries and then she's like, oh, really? Tears? And homie's like, nah.
You know what?
He's
He's not crying for you.
And then that
And he didn't hesitate, bro.
Oh, with the silence, just dragging her arm, and she's just fighting for her life, and he's just like, Zah! Oh, yes, see, yeah, no,
yeah, that was good. That was
yeah. You want to talk about sticking to your guns?
Yeah.
And again,
Your
that
daughter,
single-minded
your
vision.
daughter.
Yeah. And for him, look, he is a conqueror and all of that. It wasn't just a matter of, oh, here's someone I've nabbed to work for me or whatever.
like they even showed, like, he's conquered countless planets, but on this
Yeah.
one planet,
Yeah.
he chose this little girl.
Yeah.
And you can see he's like heartless, but for some reason, he hid her face from the violence.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He showed a little bit of emotion.
Hey, you cooking today? Yes, yeah.
And then, like, how can I say? She unfroze his frozen heart. kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. Even if it was primarily in relation to her, but it still was an element of who he was. Not to mention, there was that scene where they're there by his throne and whatever. And she's like, I always hated that shade. It's like, yeah, so I've heard. It's such a shame. I always wanted you to take over. So, and it's not just a matter of like grabbing her to purely groom her to take, like, he was raising her and then just on some, you actually could be the one to inherit this thing, So, to have that and then still lack the hesitation to throw her off a cliff.
Credit to the team to get that in one movie and then in an ensemble movie, like the pressure points.
That's why I'm saying the pacing of this for me is easily the greatest we've ever seen in the MCU movies before or since, So I'll say it right now already. Infinity War for me has always just had such a special place in my heart. And the rewatch was interesting because I always asked the question of,
did
does
it
it
stand
stack
out?
up,
Yeah.
as much as it did before and all that stuff. But if anything, there were so many things that made me love it even more.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a matter of a new concept, the
But
same
just
thing,
understanding
but
it better.
you now get even deeper into that aspect, And I think, just that whole journey and arc of Thanos himself. And to your point, as far as shouting out Josh Brolin, I realized we don't credit brilliant subtlety enough in this world, in general, never mind our reviews and all that type of thing. I realized that he was able to portray so much power, but still being so chilled and reserved in how he speaks. You hardly heard him shout or anything crazy, lose his mind or crash out or nah. But there was always so much authority in the words that he was saying. Like there was like such a powerful whisper, if you will, to his speech pattern. And I'm like, man, not to mention the bars on bars that he had every second scene he appears in. And I'm like, oh, this guy, you're the bad guy, but damn it, if I don't love you, man. So Josh Brolin on the performance aspect, absolutely amazing. Then of course you gotta bring in the writers as well, as far as how everything just tied in well together. And there was this poise, man, that he handled himself with at every single turn. For me, that was just absolutely brilliant. I also enjoyed the there was this thing where you just couldn't shake this guy and his confidence. You know, of course,
Yeah.
I feel like the closest was that scene on Titan when they were trying to grab the gauntlet and
They had it off.
Mantis.
They had it off.
That's the thing I realized when I was
They had
again.
it
I remember
off.
from the first time. I'm like, I hated Quill so much after that. I don't want to
But
lie.
totally justified.
I get it, but I
Totally
hated him so
justified.
much because I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that thing. It wasn't a matter of almost.
It was gone.
Off.
It was
He
off.
grabbed it with the same hand it was on.
Yeah.
That's how much they got of it. He grabbed it and then ended up putting. I'm like, yo. But again, you talking about the love of his life, and he had just found out
Yeah.
that she had died.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Even Tony was like, yo, bro, chill. Yeah.
But not like Tony himself would have been chilled if
Yeah.
it was Pepper, So
That's why I think Tony was like, chill. Like, he knew what was coming. Like,
man, yeah,
the
no.
consequences.
And again, when they have you as an audience member, like going back and forth, questioning
Mm.
yourself, that speaks to some brilliant writing. Not to mention just the fun of that fight scene
Yeah.
aspect as well. Like,
It was just a really, like, these people just met each other, but they were gelling so well.
yeah, the cohesion there was quite insane. Spider-Man was like magic, boom, magic again, boom, magic with a kick. Yeah.
And to your point, that is why he's GOAT Spider-Man.
Listen, dog.
Just embodies
in
that
the
playful
most serious
energy,
moment,
yeah.
like the world is about to end and whatever.
And
but
you
he's
must
still
understand,
him.
he's the only teenager amongst these
He's
titans.
a kid,
Yeah.
my dog. He's a little kid. But the optimism, the energy, the positivity that he just radiates
Yeah.
is something else. Even that whole thing with him and Tony when they were flying in the donut and then he's like, hey, you're out, kid. And then he sent off. As soon as he got in, the way he was just so apologetic immediately.
Yeah.
No, but Mr. But understand.
But then he's like, it's your fault. It's so
Yeah.
intuitive.
It's like, excuse me? yeah.
You know, it looks like it's good,
Man.
clean energy. Yeah.
Yeah, the banter was amazing, but also you just see the purity in his heart and the whole thing of wanting to do more. I hate how they walked that line back, because for me, I find it to be one of the most brilliant lines. He's like, you can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man without a neighborhood.
yeah.
Then the fact that he's like, it doesn't
You
really
know
make
what
sense.
I
I'm
mean.
like, no, dog, you hit the nail on
Yeah.
the head so perfectly, So, and Tony was speechless
Yeah.
even after that part. Like, that's how hard, he had hit him with the bar. So, again, Tom Holland, but yeah, the ensemble nature of the fighting
Yeah.
and the cohesion that existed in that scene.
I mean, all the fight scenes, just how they gave each character their little bit to shine.
They were nice and brilliant, man.
Power scaling as well. You know,
Yeah. Dope thing that jumped out to me around that scene where they're trying to get the gauntlet off of Thanos is the fact that, of course, remembered the whole thing about if you ever throw a moon at me again and whatnot.
Yeah,
when Tony
but then
was
you
mad.
actually saw the moon.
But I realized that, Thanos was getting Tony back because he threw that big ass building on Thanos at first. So it was him just, even in the scales. But even the way that played out, like, there's this thing around the integration between Thanos using the stones and what they actually did. That was so brilliant, man.
I really, the detail was like, the stone he was using was glowing each time.
Yeah,
so I really
that
like
was
that
pretty
little
cool.
detail.
But I say that in specific reference to the scene with the moon. Like, he did his
Yeah,
thing, and then he did this, and then he just grabbed it, and then first see the debris, and I'm like, so there's pieces of the moon. And then the moon itself just went and hit Tony, And of course, a little dialogue he had with Tony is like, Mr. Stark's like,
You know my
me?
name.
He's like,
Yeah.
of course, you're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
Yeah.
He's like, that little back and forth. And then also
And
realizing...
to be honest, it shows how important Tony was, because throughout the whole movie, I think Tony's the only person who drew blood.
And also it being some sort of a payoff in a sense, because remember, Tony had that vision in Age of Ultron, and he also kept referencing, he's like, I saw this already, like everyone dying and whatnot. So and it was a great payoff, because we spoken ad nauseum about how they'll touch on something and they just kind of leave it. So this one they did leave, but it always showed up in some other fashion, and now it's like the culmination of that, And it was so nice to just realize that, damn, even the stabbing, which I half remembered, but I now realized it was Tony's own weapon actually that he used to kind of just stab him in there. And the PTSD that Tony just had with everything, I like it purely because it's not just a matter of scrapping something out, like you show it and then next scene you forget about it. Like, they all stayed with him, even carrying into the next movie as far as how he dealt with the consequences of this. I think, for me, that was just, amazing, man. some of the other characters, Black Panther.
Black Panther played more of a secondary role.
Yeah, he wasn't as prominent, but he
oh,
was.
yeah, he's
he
still
made an impact. I mean, but
the war being
pure
in
virtue
being
of hosting
in the Wakanda,
of hosting the fight, like
it's no Olympics or Starbucks, but war to save the world, universe.
hosting the end of the war end of the world games, if you will. Like that was pretty insane.
Yeah, so just being in Wakanda,
and of course, even the general again, man, like.
Okay, yeah, you gotta love her.
We mentioned how even in Black Panther, she always just has that thing where for her it's all about the throne and nothing else. In Black Panther, it came through when she was willing to kill her love interest.
Yeah.
And then in this one, they were like, it'll be the end of Wakanda. And she was like, but what an end it would be. Like, there's that warrior element of her to say this would be a worthy death. Because either way, none of us are going to live forever.
Now you're making me wishing she and Thor had an interaction. That would have been good. Yeah.
And of course, she still had her usual wit. You know, when Scarlet Witch came through, did her thing. She's like, why the hell was she up there this whole time? So the general chef's kiss every single freaking time. Man.
One thing I will say, I don't like how they nerfed Vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
The man can pick up Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Like, what more do you need to say? Like, he's Ultron +1.
But is there like a specific scene that showed that nerfing?
Just throughout the whole thing. I know he got stabbed and the wound never really healed, but like just to show his power scale. Like, that initial scene. This is my one gripe. That initial scene, he got injured, cool. And then Scarlet Witch and him were fighting the two generals, Thanos' generals. I think Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight. I think, but yeah, those are the two. And arguably the two strongest people on the planet.
Of course.
And then like Cap and Scarlet Black Widow are humans, one enhanced but one not enhanced, and they're like killing these people now. I'm just like, that one suspension of disbelief a little bit too much for me. But also like, why start healing him at the beginning, because it actually shows Scarlet Witch healing Vision, but not do it in the time lapse between there and getting to Wakanda. Like, I don't know. That's my one little gripe.
I see your point. Another thing about Vision was almost like more of a victim slash.
He was
like that person like, hide them, and whereas he can
rather just get him up to speed and use him. Because like, yes, if you're doing that, then you've got Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel, all powers derived from Infinity Stones, all really super powerful. Why not make Vision that as well? So that was my one gripe.
Which we've seen, so it's not even a matter of just hypothetically speaking. Like,
you've seen him, he's picked up Thor's hammer, he's killed Ultron.
I mean, even in Civil War, he was holding his own against the best of them. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so maybe I don't like the nerfing there, but other than that, like, he's very like logical, and you gotta love him. It's like, you have to kill me, and then nobody wants to kill Robot. But also, I did enjoy that scene nonetheless. Good action, good introduction with Cap. Is just like, train.
Man,
what an entrance!
What I didn't like, it's a small little gripe, like super pet peeve. But I feel like they used the Avengers theme too much for individual characters. This is a moment I'm like, no, use his song. There's a scene where they use Cap's song. I can't remember which one it was, but I know by the train they use the Avengers theme, and I'm like, no, dog. Even if it's not the original one, just something else, but like, make it specific. And they did that a couple of times. Even when Thor would come through and do some amazing things, they'll play the general. I'm like, no. When he came in at Wakanda, Led Zeppelin, dog, throw that song in again or something. So small little thing, but that aside, there were so many dope entrances. Entrances. That train one with Cap was pretty dope. Plus, again, we hadn't seen Cap in quite some time, and the circumstances under which he had left him. So I remember the roar in the cinema when he appeared. Because first it's like that little silhouette, you're like, hey, is it? We're not sure. And then he pops up and like, and he's got the badass beard, and So,
because this time we've seen with the beard and the long hair.
Yeah, that was pretty insane, And then the one scene you just hear. Rubber band, and it's like Guardians. It's like such a Guardian-esque song, So those little details, like again, the intros, man, or the entrances rather, those were pretty sick across the board. The music, I remember enjoying quite a lot. I was like, damn, like everything just fits so well, you know. The tone and emotion that carried, I enjoyed quite a lot. I don't know if there's other specific elements that you want to touch on.
Look, like, shout out to Red Skull.
Yeah.
So I remember this scene in the cinema. I literally jumped out of my chair. Like, what? I was like, what?
Yeah.
That one, and I guess that is Marvel movies. Like, it's great movies, but sometimes it's the moments.
Of
So like,
course.
it's only moments you can experience the first time, and the second time you'll experience it again, but it
Not
never
the
hits
same,
quite the
especially if you
same.
still remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I actually jumped out of my chair for that
Damn.
one,
Yeah.
and just getting a little bit of his story. It's like, I also searched for the stone. It's like, ah, cool. Yeah. Shout out to Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Although Hollywood won't like that. But
Nah, he played
so
his
he's
role very well. Before we go on, what you say now before Peter Dinklage, the other shout out you were giving?
Red Skull.
Red Skull. I remember also in the cinema watching that because he spoke for quite a bit before they showed him.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, man, I know that voice. I know the voice. And then when they showed him, like, oh yeah, Red Skull, you know.
Because he disappeared in Captain America.
And he was gone, which was like 2011, you know, so way in the beginning. 1945,
something,
World War One times. Two. Yeah, two.
World War One is the
14,
other. It's the other.
yeah,
It's the
1914.
other extended universe.
But so I remember like hearing the voice. I'm like, yo, and then I saw. I'm like, oh damn, that's who it is. Although, fun fact, depending on how you take it, it actually wasn't Hugo Weaving.
You told me.
He was like, nah, I doesn't want to come back, whatever. But the fact that they did like the same voice, basically, it just still was pretty dope. And also, not only just the fact that they showed his conclusion, if you will, as far as where the hell he disappeared off to, but the fact that it was a power scale showing of the Infinity Stone, because like this is like his literally eternal punishment, you know, for touching it, and he couldn't handle it as a mere mortal. That whole element coming into play, and he's like, and now
and the fact that you were craving it, and you can't
wanted
have
it, and he's like, now my fate is to, you know, guide others to a position I cannot possess. I was like, oof, such a nice little touch, and you know, a bow to put around his story. And Peter Dinklage, the funny thing about his scene, when Thor opens that little thing and the fire goes, I literally all the time when I watch it, it felt reminiscent of the Game of Thrones opening theme.
Oh.
That scene where they show like the fire in the background of the logo and whatnot. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh damn, I don't know if it's deliberate, if it's just me, you know, tying things that don't belong together. But yeah, I definitely felt that. Speaking of that scene, the creation of Stormbreaker, the Groot sacrifice.
And the thing is, for me, it means Thor is willing to sacrifice everything. He literally sacrificed his own life.
Like, you're gonna, it'll kill you. It's like, only if I die. It's like, you know,
that's what killing means.
But again, to his point, he was like, without this,
I have nothing.
Thanos is gonna kill us anyways. So
I have nothing, and like, even like Groot, like, you can see throughout the movie, he just doesn't care. He's playing his game. And he's that one moment.
And I mean, talk about a bait and switch. Watching that, I always thought he's just gonna get up and help him find the handle. Next thing, he's like, nah, fam, I am the handle. And he just put it together.
I am the handle.
And then instinctively, he just chopped his head. I'm like, whoa, dog, you know.
And then also, just like that scene cut, like you know it's coming, you know it's coming.
And
then they leave you hanging, and then the next thing you see is superhero entrance.
Yes, which was incredible. And I thought that maybe it was a cap on. Nah, damn near the next scene, he just shows up and then he just, and the guy's like, oh, you guys are so screwed. I think it was Banner who said that when he saw him. Like, man, that was just amazing.
Stuff,
amazing, man. Any others before we get to the very end of the movie?
No, I think most of it feeds into the end of the movie anyways,
again, for me, it's a thing, it's a point you cannot emphasize enough. The fact that they let the villain get his win and they let him keep it
Yeah.
for the movie. Because it would have been one thing, because again, we saw he like snapped and then Thor hit him with the axe.
Stormbreaker, yeah.
And then you think, oh, now he's gonna kill him and somehow it'll reverse or whatever. And it's like, nah, should have gone for the head. And then he disappears. And I'm like, whoa.
Just that whole bit from just winning after, like, you felt the nervous energy after they lost on Titan.
Yes. Ooh.
Because Quill is like, did we just lose?
Oof. Fam.
And then all sitting there like...
And even that whole thing, Stranger's like, hey man, 14,605 possibilities, just the one where we get... And the first instance when he then, Grantis is going a bit back, when he was like...
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sacrificing the stone for any of you.
Yeah.
And then he
he's like,
ended
"Nah,
up to one...
I'm going to give it, but we must promise to then leave him be. And he's like, no tricks, And he just gives, and he's like, okay, perhaps this is the one possibility that he saw us winning in. And then fast forward to then, Wakanda. Again, Thor comes in, he lays him out and feels like there's a little bit of hope. Rocket
Yeah.
and
Groot,
Bucky.
Oh, yeah.
Rocket and Bucky have their little moment, with the spinning guns and all. And you think, okay, there's a young upper hand coming through. And before you know it, Thanos is there. And it's like, ish, now there's no time.
All his generals are dead.
Yeah.
It's just him.
We got to now also
five Infinity Stones.
destroy the Mind Stone. Okay, let's get to it. And then it was destroyed. So that's the other thing. Like, they didn't do that little close call, last second thing. Like,
literally,
they went there.
They
dog.
went there.
Yes.
And all your sacrifices meant nothing.
Yo.
Meant nothing.
I mean, he does it, and then homie just comes through like it's
like,
whatever.
And he has the audacity to treat her like his daughter's like, it's okay, little one. It's okay. And then in front of you, he just
does the and the fact that even as soon as that green circle appears, we're all like, no, because we know what that means. We've seen it already with Doctor Strange. Unlike with the other stones, he just does this thing. He's like, oh, that's what that does. That's what that. Yeah. This one we're like, nah, we've seen this move a few times. So, ish.
And the thing is, like, it's like at the beginning where he just choked out. Like, he just pulled it out.
And even the death of Vision, it's like he's now died twice in like less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, died
that
twice.
was also painful
but
to
also,
watch.
like, they didn't, like, you just see his legs just go limp. It's like,
and the color disappear.
Yeah.
No. That was painful to watch. I'm not going to even front on that one. Yes, see.
And
but
then,
so impactful, of course.
And then you must give up a shout out because Thor said Stormbreaker is
the
Thanos killing weapon.
Yeah.
It is arguably, and this is my opinion, stronger than the Infinity Stone or Infinity Gauntlet because Thanos hit a full 6-stone beam to Stormbreaker and it sliced it straight through at the end. Just for that moment.
But did he... I don't think Thanos defended against it though.
He did.
Did he?
He shot a whole beam of power.
And it cut through.
Cut straight through.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair point. Fair point. Okay.
So in terms of maybe just pure one-on-one damage, it's better.
Damn.
So Thor's point was proven, but he didn't go for
me,
head.
it was just the fact that it was a Thanos killing thing and he actually got there. Because again, when I saw the axe hit his chest, I was like, oh, like I genuinely thought, okay, this is... But the part of me was like, so this is how you reverse it. And But nah, it's like...
Should have went for the head.
Disappeared. And then that was that.
And for me, it's like the people just realizing they lost. But they didn't know, like they couldn't do anything.
That's what I'm getting to now.
It's
like,
the hopelessness.
The death scenes that followed, my dude. It's like, she's like, come on, Mike. This is no... no, he was going to... Black Panther
come on, General, there's no...
This is no place for a general to die. But he's the one who's... and you just see everyone just disappearing.
Oh, it's like Sam.
And then, of course, out of all of them, whose death hits you the hardest?
Tom
Holland. Oh, Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good. Mr. Stark. Oh, and then Tony's just there watching him, and it's like, what can I do? Dog? Like, and he's just like, hugging, because others would disappear on their own, one by one, and then he's the last one, and then they're going for that hug, and then he just
catching air.
Come on, man.
And then the unlikely pairing of Nebula and Tony being left behind. Like, even a million years would have thought of that.
Eish. Yeah, then, of course, you have the final scene. As he said, okay, you kill half the universe, then what? Then I watch the sunrise set. I
Oh,
watched the sunset.
rise or set?
Sunset on a Grateful Universe. So he's then chilling on his porch, and then you just see the sun in his face, and then the movie cuts.
It's done. It's finished. He won.
I literally sat there like this in the cinema. I was like, wait, what? I stayed waiting for the cliche moment, like, okay, here's the. I was like, fam, like, this is it? This is it? And of course, it's a Marvel movie, so, we're going to wait for the end credit, whatever.
But the end credit feeds into something else.
The whole time, I was just there like, you guys are kidding. Like, really, really?
Done.
So, no.
They went there.
Just see, man. Talk about sheer brilliance. What the Scorsese meme? Pure cinema, pure cinema. So for me, that's why I'm just like, nah. This movie is damn near untouchable. And out of all the things that I took out of it, the greatest one is easily the fact that it didn't fall short watching it again after all these years. Like, And look, there's nothing I can say now which I haven't already said, from the pacing to the emotions, all of that stuff. But I think the emotions maybe one more thing to hit on for me, that there were so many emotional touch points in this movie. And I'm just like, while Thanos is out there doing his thing, they still found a way to build it up with everyone else. So I think the balance between the two was just, simply amazing, man. So as you can tell by the title of the movie, right, this is more of we're still reviewing this, but it's also more of a comparison.
Part one.
Yeah, it's a part one, but there's also a comparison element between this and Endgame. So no rating, and this is it as far as, final thoughts and all of that. We'll touch on that at the end of the Endgame review. So we're basically going to leave it at this point for now. But as per usual, feel free, drop your likes, drop your comments, drop them subscribes. Definitely follow us on Instagram, the Phantom Geek Zone. And it is pretty obvious where we're going to head to next. But either way, keep a close eye on PGZ. Peace.